Hi, this is David at White's Ace Hardware and Garden Center. Today I want to talk about roses. Roses are very nice and easy to take care of and they bloom all season long if you take care of them. So let's talk about a few. We have a few out here ready for you. Roses need about 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. So they can take a little bit of partial sunlight, but not a lot of sunlight. They need a lot of sunlight for a couple reasons, and we'll talk about that. They need a lot of air circulation. That's one reason they need the sunlight, because they're susceptible to powdery mildew and black spots and stuff like this. Now, those are easily cured if you get them. Now, a lot of the roses we have are disease resistant. They're resistant to that stuff, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get it. But if you get it, you just put a little fungicide on them and it knocks them right out. So they're really easy as far as that goes. All the varieties we have are disease resistant. We'll talk about the varieties we have in a little bit. But then the other thing is watering. First of all, any plant you put in the ground. Now, I have people say, is it too late to put roses in the ground? No, it's not. It's not time. It's always a good time to put perennials in the ground, and roses are one of those things that you can put them in the ground and just enjoy. But you have to water them at first and you really get them established. You just can't put them in the ground and forget them. After, water them once a day really well and get them going and stuff like that. And then once you have them established, then you can water them during drought times, kind of like we're at right now. Just kind of water them a little bit on that, give them a little extra care on that. Let's talk about fertilizing. Fertilizing always helps to help rebloom it. A lot of people suggest fertilizing once every 6 weeks. So you just put a schedule in there, put a fertilizer out there. We have something called rose tone, which is really good to fertilize them with. So that's something that you can always fertilize every 6 weeks with. And don't fertilize it in the late fall, because you don't want new growth coming on to damage the plant and stuff like that. And watering. Make sure when you water, you don't water at the top and sprinkle down. You water underneath, because again, if you water on the top, you leave water droplets there, and that's where we get the funguses again. So you got to be careful in watering. Let's talk about diseases. Again, I talked about these are pretty much disease-free that we have out here. We have, but you have the black spot and the powdery mildew are the two most common ones that you'll see on them. And again, a little fungicide will knock those out and everything like that. Insects. Early spring, we have the rose slug, or the sawfly larva, as they call it. It comes up from the ground and crawls up and creates little holes in your plants. Now, what you need to do is get a liquid 7, treat the underside of the leaves on the roses. And when you do that, then you kill that, and it doesn't last forever, just early spring. The other one that's common is the Japanese beetle. Those are notorious to attacking roses. And again, just a simple insecticide will knock those out really easily. Okay, now let's talk about pruning. Pruning, in pruning them, what you want to do is you don't really want to prune them until early spring. A couple reasons for this is pruning, you want to really cut the dead wood off of it. And you really don't know what the dead wood is until early spring. So you want to be careful of that. So we suggest not pruning until early spring and so. So that's what I would suggest on that. And now a lot of people prune them in the fall and then put those rose cones on them. The problem with those rose cones is you're trapping stuff inside of it with it. And you're mashing them down and crunching them together, and you lack that air circulation. The best thing you can do for a rose is avoid the rose cone and just mulch it really heavily around the bulb, around the root balls of it. And that'll keep it preserved and everything like that. Our winters don't get too bad here that we have to really worry about that. So that's something you can look at. Now let's talk about the different type of roses we got out here. We have the Easy Elegance, which will get 3 to 4 feet high. We got the Knockouts, which you can see They're called knockouts because they're both very much, they get 3 to 5 feet high. The flowers bloom all season long. They're disease resistant and everything like that. Just the variety of the name. And the other one we have is over here. It is called the drift roses. And the drift roses are nice because, let's see, I'm going to try to find the name of them here. I don't see it. It's here somewhere. There it is. The drift roses. Sweet drift. They're nice. They keep low to the ground, so they'd be a good ground cover. They're, again, very abundant. Now, some people say, what about deadheading? Well, deadheading is where you just go down and you go down to the branch. You go down to the branch and you cut it down like that. And you just clip it off and to the first kind of 2 or 3 leaves, and that will clear the deadheading. And it will promote more growth, more flowering. So these are some of the tips I give you on roses. Now, like I said, we got a variety of them out here. We got pink, we got them red, we got them white, we got them yellow. So come on out to Ace White's Hardware and Garden Center and pick out a rose and plant it and enjoy it all season long. Thank you. See you again.